My name is John Deere. I was born in Rutland, Vermont on February 7, 1804. When I was 4, my father left for England but was sadly lost at sea. At only 17, I became a blacksmith's apprentice. In 1837, I packed up my belongings and headed west. Once I got there, I set up my house and shop and began working. The next year, I wrote a letter to my wife and 5 children and told them I built a house and it was ready for them to come down. My wife, Demarius, and 5 children walked all the way from Vermont to Illinois. My shop burned down 3 times, but thankfully for the community, I was able to rebuild them all. It was a day like any other. I was at one of my buyer's houses and I saw a circular saw blade sitting down on a table. I took it back to the shop, shaped it to the size of an actual plow, shined it to a point, and attached it to an old plow shaft. I gathered the village and showed them how easily it glided through the tough, moist soil of the West. Back in the East, the soil was light and fluffy, but the cast iron plows did not work in the West like they did in the East. I didn't know I'd created the first of many self-scouring steel plows. We decided to move to Moline, Illinois for the Mississippi River. It had great power, and that is what we needed. I served as mayor of Moline for 2 years, but sadly on May 17, 1886, I died in my sleep in my home in Moline.
Hi, my name is Kobe Bryant. I was born on August 23, 1978. Sadly, I passed away January 26, 2020. Through my life, I accomplished a lot. One thing is I was named after a Japanese steak from a restaurant my parents liked to go to. At 7 years old, I moved to Italy for 8 years. When I got back, I was in 8th grade. I went to Lower Vernon High School in Pennsylvania. I was drafted in 1996 to the Los Angeles Lakers, where I played my whole career. In 1997, I won the dunk contest. In 2000, I was the youngest player on the All-Star team, along with 14 other appearances. Also in 2000, I was named the All-NBA defensive team along with 11 other appearances. Also in 2000, I won my first NBA title, along with 4 other titles. I hold the record for most points scored in a game by a Laker. That is 81 points. I was the NBA scoring champion in the 2006 and 2007 season. I was also the youngest player at the time to score 26,000 career points. I retired in 2016. When I would visit home, I would always ask my mom how my sisters were doing at volleyball. Something you might be surprised by is that I recorded an album called Visions in 2000. I also performed a single called Kobe.
Hi, my name's Ashley Olsen. I have a twin sister. Her name's Mary Kate. You might know us. We played Michelle from Full House. I'm going to tell you about my life and fun facts about me. I was born June 13, 1986. We grew up in Sherman Oaks, California. When I was younger, I loved to roller skate. I know I can go to Mary Kate if I need help. The funny thing is that my mom and dad would hold up a cookie so that we could giggle and laugh. If we did good in our Full House scenes, then we would get the cookie. Sadly today, I'm not acting anymore. I'm working on my new clothing line. I'm now 34 years old, and I'm dating Louis Eisenhower.
Hi, my name is Mary Kate Olsen. I was born June 13th, 1986 in Sherman Oaks, California. I have a twin sister named Ashley, who is about 2 minutes older than me. I have played in many movies and TV shows. A few you might know me from is Full House. I played Michelle Tanner, and It Takes Two. I played as Amanda. A few fun facts about me as a child are, before the show Full House, my name was not hyphenated. In photos you may see of me and Ashley as children, I would always wear blue and she would always wear pink or red. I was born in the month of Gemini, and that is the month of twins. Me and my sister Ashley look a lot alike, but we're actually fraternal twins, not identical. I love riding horses, and I had horseback riding lessons every day that I could. Lastly, at the age of 6, I was named the youngest Hollywood producer. Now as an adult, I do not act anymore. Ashley and I have a clothing line at the store Kohl's called Elizabeth and James, named after my younger siblings.
As you all know, I'm Marie Curie. I discovered 2 elements along with receiving 2 Nobel Prizes, but I also proved that the atom could break apart. My theory was that radioactivity was the result of atomic changes in an element. In fact, the radioactivity of thorium and uranium compounds appear as an atomic property. M. Becquerel has already observed that all uranium compounds are active and has concluded that their activity was due to the presence of the element uranium. I've investigated, from this point of view, the compounds of thorium and uranium, and I've taken a great many measurements of their activity under different conditions. The result of these determinations shows that the radioactivity of these substances to be decidedly an atomic property. It seems to depend upon the presence of the atoms of these two elements in question and is not influenced by any change of physical state or chemical decomposition.
Hi, I'm Whitney Elizabeth Houston. I'm an African-American singer. I was born August 9th, 1963. My first solo was when I was 12, singing Guide Me, Thou Great Jehovah. I also started modeling at the age of 15 and one of the first African Americans to be a modeling magazine cover, 17. My first album was Love Language, a duet with Tendy Pendergrass. You Give Good Love was my first hit topping on the R&B chart and got on the top 3 of the Hot 100. I had 8 Grammy Awards, 15 Genius World Records, and 19 NAACP Image Awards. I also had 7 consecutive hits on the top of the Hot 100. I got married to Bobby Brown, a fellow singer. I had my baby on March 4th, 1993. Her name is Bobby Christina Brown. She sang backup in some of my music I wrote, and I also had a divorce with Bobby Brown in 2007, and I sadly died of an remission associated with drug intoxication in 2012.
Hello, I'm Milton Hershey. I made the famous Hershey bar, and I've made much more candy, but the first successful candy I made was the Lancaster caramel candy, or you can just call it crystal caramel. I've helped orphan boys have better education, and I've given $6 million in funds to my school. I was born on September 13th, 1857, and I was born and I died on October 13th, 1945. I was only 88 years old when I died, and I died in my own town called Hershey in Pennsylvania. It was a sad tragedy, and I love all the people around the world who love my chocolate, and I am the one only man who created this candy sensation, or candy empire.
Oui, mon ami, je m'appelle Lafayette. Or my full name, Marie Joseph Paul Yvette Ross Gilbert du Martyr de Lafayette, Marquis de Lafayette. I was born on September 6, 1757, and in my life I accomplished many great things, such as becoming a major general in the Revolutionary War and a lieutenant general in the French Revolution. As you would expect, being a general in 2 different wars, I was involved in countless battles. 2 notable battles being the Battle of Yorktown in the Revolutionary War and the Battle and Siege of Alexandria in the French Revolution. But these were just the things I am most known for. I helped create a new breed of dog, and when I first left France for America, I wasn't supposed to leave. So when I got back for the first time, I was arrested for 8 days under house arrest at a fancy hotel. I had 1 wife, Adrienne de Ayen, and 4 kids, Henriette du Martyr de Lafayette, and Tassie Louis Paul du Martyr de Lafayette, Marie Antoinette Virginie Martyr de Lafayette, and George Washington de Lafayette. After 73 years of my life, I died to pneumonia, a lung disease, on May 20th, 1834.
I was born in Denton, Texas on October 14th, 1890. I was born into a happy family. My mother and father's names were David and Ida Eisenhower. I also had 3 brothers, Milton, Earl, and Edgar. My father worked as a railroad mechanic, then at a creamery. My mom stayed at home and to take care of my brothers and I. When I got older, I went to Abilene High School in Kansas. I didn't get the best grades, but then my mom helped me to improve them. So then I ended up going to U.S. Army War College. After I graduated, I became a 5-star general and fought in both world wars. Then I got married to Mamie Dowd on July 1st, 1916. Next, after a few years, we had 2 children, John and Dowd. After After I got married, I ran for president and won 2 times. When I was president, I made it illegal for African Americans to go to all-white schools. I also banned the nasty ducks from ruining my putting green. But then, after about 17 years, I sadly died at the age of 78.
Hi, my name is Leonardo DiCaprio. I was born on November 11th, 1974 in Los Angeles, California, and I am 46 years old. I have acted in many movies such as Titanic, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, The Basketball Diaries, Romeo and Juliet, and many more. But those are probably the ones you will recognize me from. I dropped out of high school my junior year to do acting instead, which is one of the best decisions I've ever made. I also really love the planet and I would do anything to save it. In 2014, I gave $3 million to saving ocean wildlife, which is also one of the best decisions I've ever made. And in fact, my whole Instagram is about the planet. My friend Kate and I, who played Jack and Rose on the Titanic, paid the last survivor on the Titanic's nursing home fees so she didn't have to sell artifacts from the Titanic to make money. A cool fact about me is that I'm named after Leonardo da Vinci.
Hello, my name is Malala Yousafzai. I grew up in Mangora, a city in Pakistan that was located in the Swat Valley. Ever since I was little, I've always been protesting against the Taliban of Pakistan and how females should also have the same amount of education as men in Pakistan and some other unfair countries. My dream has always been for India and Pakistan to come to friendly terms with each other. My father supports me and protests with me, and school and education has always been a very important part of our family. I was shot by a gunman in a school bus on my way home from school. I was only 15 and my doctor said I had a 70% chance of surviving. I fortunately survived and the wound, and I am now 23 years old. It took me more than a week to recover, and the Taliban of Pakistan had targeted me. I feel thankful and lucky that I survived and that my father and my family also stand up for me and my rights.
What's up? I'm Peyton Manning. I was the quarterback for the Broncos, but I'm retired now. I have 2 kids, a girl and a boy. I've worked really hard to get on the leaders passing board, and I finally got up there, so never give up and follow your dreams, and your dreams will come true. My dad was also a quarterback, but for the New Orleans Saints. He was a star for them. I love my dad. He was a big part of my life. He helped me through the bad times and helped me become a better man. My mom was also there for me too. But although I don't play anymore, I'm still going to help my son with his football career and he'll be a star one day. My advice for you is if you want to be like me, follow my personal favorite inspirational quote, which is, it's not about wanting to win that makes you a winner, it's refusing to fail, so keep your head in the game and you'll do just fine. One fun fact about me is I'm the middle child, and I played baseball through my elementary school times, but as soon as I got into high school, I dropped out of baseball and started playing football because balancing them both with school was a little tough for me, and my grades weren't very good back then. So I dropped baseball and I started playing football in high school, and that's where I began my career.
I'm Ronald Ligon. I was born February 6, 1911. I was born in Tampico, Illinois. My dad's name is Jack Ligon and my mom's name is Nellie Wilson Ligon. I had a brother named Neil Ligon. My father was a very ambitious man, but he sometimes had a darker side. He was a drunk, which led me to kind of take responsibility at a young age. My mother always wanted to find the good in people. At the age of 12, I joined the Disciples of Christ. My father's drinking had put a dark cloud above my family's head, and it would get worse to the point where my mom and dad would fight, and my dad would mysteriously disappear. At age 17, I weighed roughly 175 pounds, and I was 6'1" in high school. I had an interest in sports and acting and extracurricular activities, including being captain of the swim team, yearbook editor, the student body president, a member of the football team, track team, a member of the basketball cheerleading team. I moved a lot in my life, but mainly all throughout Illinois. But I moved to Dixon, Illinois, and that's where I graduated high school. The college I went to was only a few miles away from home, and that's where my girlfriend went at the time. In college, I participated in several activities, including football, swim team, which I coached for the last 2 years, track, dramatics, served on the student senate for 2 years, the student body president, president of the Boosters Club, and led cheer for the basketball team. I graduated in 1932 and moved to Iowa. I married my first wife, Jane Wyman, in 1940 throughout 1949. We sadly divorced because of different political beliefs, but in 1952, I married my second wife, Nancy Davis. I played in a lot of movies, such as in Love is on the Air, Santa Fe Trail, King's Row, This is the Army, Cattle Queen of Montana, The Hellcats of the Navy, and The Hellcats of the Navy. I starred in 93 movies in total. In 1967 and as well in 1971, I was governor of California. I was elected to be president in 1981 through 1989. I was the 40th president and served 2 consecutive terms, but sadly on 2004 I died to Alzheimer's. Although I died, I will still go down as one of the best Republican presidents.
Hi, my name is Sarah Lipinski. I was born on June 10th, 1982. My spouse's name is Todd Kapowski. He is a TV producer. We have a daughter named Liv. She is 1 year old. I was the youngest female to win a gold medal when I was only 15. After winning the Olympics in 1998, I turned to professional. The reason I stopped skating was because I got too many injuries. I was only 6 when I started skating. My coach was Richard Callahan. He was one of the America's best coaches. My furry best friend is my dog Dublin, and my best friend is Johnny Weir, and him and I host NBC Sports.
Good afternoon. My name is Abraham Lincoln, and I was born on February 12, 1809, in a place called Hogganville, Kentucky. At a young age, I was very smart, especially though only going to an ABC school every now and then. If you do not know what an ABC school is, it's where you only get taught the ABCs and nothing else. Also, not to brag, but I could pick up a full axe at age 8, which was 7 pounds. Also, I loved reading books, but my stepmom despised it. I would walk miles to my neighbors just to get one book. Even though I did not like reading long books, we don't have any other books but the Bible too. Unlike a lot of others, I respected people's land. Some of the fun facts about me are, my mom dying was the saddest day of my life. She was buried in a forest. One of the earliest memories I ever had was a flash flood. I had 3 kids, Sarah, Adam, and Thomas. In December 1816, faced with a lawsuit challenging the title of my Kentucky farm. I was the first president. To come from a different state other than the 13 colonies. Also, I dislike being called Abe and would rather be called my normal name. When I was president, I also made Thanksgiving a national holiday, so you can at least say thank you. 1865, a terrible day. I was shot in the back of the head by John Wilkes Booth in the Peterson House, Washington, D.C.